couple of wee questions, nothing major. So, whenever we ask you something, just talk freely, as if you're having a chat with your best friend or whatever. Just chat away. And
I walk in front of it.
the first thing I'd like to ask you is, whenever you first come to Cullean, what was your first impression of Cullean and all, and the people? Say whatever you like now, don't hold back.
Well, I liked it a lot because everybody was very, very friendly, talked a lot, got just friendly and talkative. I found that different from some of the cities. And my first recollection of being asked to do something was a couple of days after I arrived in Coal Island. The parish priest, well, it was Father O'Brien, wasn't it?
O'Brien,
he was the new curate rather than the parish priest.
Yeah.
And he came down and he said, I hear you were always involved with singing and music. And I said, well, yes, I suppose I was a lot at home. And I had been in for a couple of nights in a choir in Dungannon with Father Eustace. And he had obviously heard that too. And he said, well, I'd like you to do something, and I would like to do something myself. I would like a choir in Coal Island, an adult choir. And if you could help me, would you do it? And I said, well, sure. So the next day, didn't wait too long, the next day he arrived down and he said, what about tonight, first practice? And I said, well, yeah, that's fine. The piano was upstairs, but he didn't mind that. So he arrived with two people, two young men. One of them was one of the Timlin boys, who were three boys who could sing very well. And the other boy was from Brackenville. And I can't remember his name.
Doesn't matter.
And he arrived down anyway, and we started singing. I listened to them and we got singing together. And of course it was hymns. And he had an idea of having, getting hymns for each Sunday printed out and trying to get community to join in, especially young people in the school. So we started to work at that, and from then on I had the choir after that. The lady who had already the choir was Mrs. Devlin, and she had got married and retired. So Richard Gervin became the organist,
Yeah.
and she and I started a choir for Father O'Brien, and we continued until not too long ago. We had. Then we went for music to the concerts, and I did a lot of drama before I got married, so I joined, I got a group together and we had plays then. And they were quite good, very good actors.
I remember that.
And of course you had Bradley, the famous Bradley. And we had Pat Quinn and Barney Hearn, the teacher, wonderful actor. Jim Hearn, all of those who were interested joined, and we had a fabulous time, and we had the practices here.
But you see, whenever you did start doing, I remember, you know, it evolved and developed over a few years. You know, you done music and you done drama and all. How did you source people? Did you audition people, or did people just offer their services, or did you hear somebody's not too bad, we'll give them a try, or what?
Owen Rowe, O'Neill came,
Unreal.
he was working for Tom as a
Paper boy.
assistant
No, he was paper
in the
boy.
morning, and he brought a couple of people, and each one of them had friends who were interested in becoming singers or whatever, and I didn't have to really go round and ask people at all. They just came, and we sat in this very room here, especially, and Patrick Jared McCorry
That's right.
from down below, and we sat here, and we maybe had only 3 or 4 people a night, and before that, after that, it gathered into a full house, and we had some of the practices then in the school and in the church, mostly for the hymns and that sort of thing, and for special times, Christmas and so on. The drama we started here, and we would practice here and then go to eventually then when the school opened in Coal Island, we would practice there, and the principal of the school always let us have a couple of rooms for a night, and we practiced there for all the plays and musicals and what have you.
And you had to work backstage and also to build sets and stuff like that.
Backstage was fabulous. We had a lot of the players had already, the older men had already been in plays and knew somebody who was good at that sort of thing. But I found so much help. There was you didn't have to beg anybody to do anything. There was always somebody there to do. We had Tommy McElvenna,
Don Scott would have,
the teacher.
Scott would have helped backstage and all.
Sorry?
Don Scott was
Dan Scott was the
just
main man.
ones I'm thinking of.
He was
good at set construction and that sort of thing.
That's right.
He was wonderful.
Yeah.
And he would bring somebody along, and young people would come in, especially young lads that were interested in woodwork and that sort of thing. And they all got together, we all got together, and everybody helped. They had somebody, every night they had somebody new. That was the one great thing about it. Coal Island people were very talented and were appreciative of music and drama, and I think that showed in the people who offered themselves to work. It was wonderful. I'm inclined to forget names too easily.
Join the
There's
club.
so many.
Good at that.
And to help, was that not typical of the spirit of Coal Island, the nature of Coal Island, that people are like that? It's still like that today.
Yes, they were like that. Well, I was used with the Oma players, with the drama, and that was the kind of attitude I found quite prevalent in Coal Island. It was everybody was together, and if they knew somebody who was interested, they had them right away. I mean, didn't miss anybody. And especially Owen Rowe, he was great. And Bonnie Hearn, they all had some kind of contacts. And if I didn't know them, they just brought them. They knew that there was nobody going to be called, we don't want you. We wanted everybody. Margaret O'Hagan, Mrs. Malachi Curran, those ladies offered themselves. They were interested in the drama and the music, but didn't take part in that. And they offered themselves to make tea. And we had tea and cake and all sorts of lovely things after every practice. In here at home, whoever wanted, anybody like a cup of tea, and they went out. Somebody went out, and Mary Boyle eventually did the same thing with the choir. Ursula Hughes in the recent years, they all just offered themselves and did. it was home from home kind of thing. It didn't really matter where you were, you got